Hey, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a battle that's been raging for more than 100 years. And this isn't a conflict fought on some faraway battlefield with tanks and trenches. It's happening in the quietest corners of your life. Actually, it's happening right in your bedroom. This is the 100-year war for sleep. So let's just start with a question that probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. Why are you so tired? And I mean really, truly deep down in your bones tired. You might blame your phone or your job or what you ate. But what if I told you your exhaustion isn't just your problem? What if it's a symptom of something way, way bigger? Because here's the big provocative idea. Your sleep is the final frontier in a century-long economic war. It's a battle to colonize the very last part of your existence that hasn't been completely turned into a product, the time you spend unconscious. I know, it's a huge claim, so let's break down exactly how this whole war got started. Okay, so section 1, we're gonna start with the very first weapon that was used in this war. And no, it wasn't an app, it wasn't a notification, it was something we think of as totally normal, even essential to modern life, pure artificial light. Think about it. Before the late 1800s, life for almost every human was dictated by the sun. When the sun went down, the productive day was pretty much over. The night belonged to rest, to darkness, and, well, to sleep. But all of that was about to change. See, the first goal wasn't to capture your mind, it was to conquer the night itself. This timeline really shows how it all went down. For thousands of years, life follows the sun. Simple. Then, boom, 1879, the light bulb shows up. It's a technological miracle, right? It lets us literally push back the darkness. But this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the next point, 1924, the Phoebus cartel. This was a real thing, a corporate conspiracy where all the major light bulb companies secretly agreed to make their bulbs burn out faster, so people had to buy more. This shows you that right from the start, the goal wasn't just about light, it was about consumption. And this all leads to the world we know now, the post-World War II era, where the 24/7 economy is born. An entire system built on the idea that work and shopping and life, they just don't have to stop when the sun goes down. The night was officially colonized. So with the night conquered, you'd think the war would be over, right? Nope, it just evolved. It moved to a brand new front. The new battlefield, well, it's inside your head. It's the war for your attention. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. In the old war, the weapon was the light bulb, and the goal was to conquer the physical time of night. In the new war, the weapon is the algorithm, the code that runs your social media feeds and your streaming apps, and its goal is to conquer your mental space, your attention. And hey, if you think this sounds a little too much like a conspiracy theory, just listen to the companies themselves. This is the former CEO of Netflix, Reed Hastings, just being brutally honest. He isn't saying his competition is HBO or Disney+. He's saying his main competitor is sleep. So think about what that means. From their point of view, every single hour you spend sleeping is an hour you're not watching, not clicking, not consuming their product. And believe me, they have a whole arsenal to fight this war. These are the modern weapons of mass distraction. You've got infinite scroll, so the feed just never, ever ends. Autoplay, so you don't even have to make the choice to watch the next thing. Push notifications designed specifically to pull you right back in. And of course, all the gamified stuff, like likes and streaks that give you these little dopamine hits to keep you hooked. It's an incredibly sophisticated system.
It's
and
making
has
me do
one
crazy
single
things.
purpose.
I can't control
Keep
my
your
sleep
eyes
body
on
anymore.
that. Now, all of this, of course, comes at a price. This constant digital siege has a real, profound biological impact on every single one of us. So let's talk about the human cost of this war. At the very heart of this biological cost is this concept called decision fatigue. It's a pretty simple but really powerful idea. Think of your ability to make good decisions like a muscle, and just like any muscle, it gets tired. The more choices you have to make, even tiny little ones like, should I click this or should I answer that text, the more your willpower just gets totally depleted. And this kicks off a really vicious cycle. Let's just walk through it. First, our phones and screens are just bombarding us with constant pings, forcing us to make hundreds of these little micro decisions all day. Then, this relentless demand leads directly to decision fatigue. Next, as that willpower muscle gets completely exhausted, our self-control just craters. And what happens when you have zero self-control left at 11 o'clock at night? You default to the easiest possible thing, passive consumption. You just keep scrolling. You let the next episode play. The whole system is designed to wear you down until you just can't resist anymore. So this brings us to the final and most important question. Is all of this just an accident? An unfortunate side effect of all our cool new technology? Is it a bug in the system, or is it something a lot more intentional? Because, we often turn this struggle inward. We feel guilty for staying up too late, for scrolling for another hour. We ask ourselves, is my exhaustion my fault? Am I just not disciplined enough? The central argument here is a powerful and pretty resounding no. Your exhaustion isn't an accident. It's a feature of the system, not a bug. So why? Why would it be a feature? Well, because our entire economic system is fundamentally built to maximize one single thing, gross domestic product, or GDP. It's just a measure of economic activity. And a person who is awake, working, shopping, streaming, scrolling is contributing to GDP. A person who is sleeping is not. Your well-being, your rest, your mental health, they don't even factor into that core calculation. A tired, distracted consumer is, quite simply, a more profitable one, which leaves us with one last kind of haunting question to think about. In this 100-year war between our own biology and an economic system that needs us awake and consuming, who do you think is winning?
Not fair. GDP always flashy gadgets. Ha! Guys, chill. I'm just here for the snacks.